Hi guys, and welcome back to Movies That Matter with the Viking and Kevin Smith. You know, the director. He's a fanboy of Marvel and DC. Loves comic books, loves the superhero genre. Directed some films like Jay and Silent Bob, Mallrats, films like that. And he has a big YouTube channel, big following in the movie industry, and overall a good fun guy. But last night on his channel, on one of his videos, he was redressing the Ray Fisher comments got to do with Josh Whedon. Now, a few days ago, as you remember, Ray Fisher retracted his opinion of Josh Whedon coming on to Justice League and being the right choice to finish Zack's vision. He took back those comments, took back those praise. That kind of went around the internet, and people were like, oh, wow, what's he trying to say here? And then 2 days later, he says that Josh Whedon was abusive, unprofessional on set, and then says that John Berg and Jeff Johns were there and let this happen as well. So he threw them all underneath the bus. This trended, Josh Whedon trended, and it got people in a big discussion. A lot of people went for Ray Fisher and gave him a lot of shit. A lot of people who are Josh Whedon fans, a lot of people who are Jeff Johns fans said, look man, what are you saying about these bad people? Why are you doing this for? You know, you're ruining your career and all this. Saying that what's true, speaking up against things that are wrong, things that should not happen on a set of a movie production is ruining your career. I think Ray Fisher will be fine. But Kevin Smith last night on his show, he said he heard from people who worked on Justice League with Zack Snyder, and then after Zack Snyder left, they worked with Josh Whedon, some special effects guys, people on the crew, and they said that Josh Whedon would mock Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. He would be on set and he would be talking badly about either Zack Snyder or the work that he had already done before he left. And that's just a shitty thing to do. Now, we all know what happened. BVS had mixed reviews. It did well at the box office, but it has its fan base. Warner Brothers became reactionary. They wanted it more like Marvel. They changed things. They even cut 30 minutes off Batman vs. Superman, and then people who have revisited Batman vs. Superman, the Ultimate Edition, said it's an absolutely brilliant film, and this is the film that should have come out in theaters. But they cut 30 minutes out of that film. We know that they fucked with Suicide Squad on David Ayer. These are things that happened. And then when Zack, of course, had the terrible tragedy with his daughter and her passing away, Zack went back to work, but he couldn't deal with the shit that he was in. He was getting rewrites from Jeff Johns. Warner Brothers were on his ass about everything. So Zack Snyder said, you know what, fuck this, I'm out here, I'm getting out of this shit. And that's what happened. Jeff Johns then got overall production in control, brought in Josh Whedon. The two of them rewrote, reshot the entire film in the space of 3 to 4 months. An entire film. Just think of how long it took Man of Steel to happen. It took 2.5 years for Man of Steel to be made. It took around the same for Batman vs. Superman. And these guys reshot everything in 4 months. No wonder we got the travesty that we got in November 2017. A terrible film. Effects weren't finished. Poor CGI. The characters, the actors did not want to be there, and they made an absolute joke of characters like Batman, Superman, all the characters in that film. They made an absolute joke. That came out, did poorly at the box office. Bad reviews. The core fan base knew it was not Zack Snyder's film, and so then a movement was born, and now Zack Snyder's Justice League will finally come out in 2021. But instead of Josh Whedon just coming in and saying, right, look guys, we all have to stick together here, Zack left, I will try and implement his vision. I know that Warner Brothers was saying, look, Josh, this is what we want you to do. Put these things in, tick these boxes, do that. And Josh Whedon came in and he did that. Okay, fair enough. He was hired for a job that he should have never taken. We're talking about a guy who made billions with the Avenger films. 2 films that people love and are okay to me, but I like and enjoy them. And he comes into a production that he knows, he had to have known it was fucked. He came in and reshot the whole thing. Warner Brothers said make it more lighthearted, change the colour, make more jokes. Okay, fine. That's okay. That's the instructions Jeff Johns got. That's the instructions that Josh Whedon got from Warner Bros. Fair enough. That was their job. But it doesn't give them the right to be pricks on set to people. It really doesn't. Now, of course, Kevin Smith admitted this is hearsay. This is what he heard from someone. It's not a confirmed. It's not for people to go off and run off and make stories about it. But it's just what he heard. So Josh Whedon was on set mocking Zack Snyder, mocking the cut that Zack Snyder created that he worked hard over, and then Zack left over his daughter and other stuff, and he's still making a joke of him. Now, seemingly this didn't go down that well on set because a lot of people respect Zack. Zack is very loved in the industry. Loads of people have good things to say about Zack. Get me a story that says Zack is a bad person on set or a bad person in general. You will not find one whatsoever. So for Josh Whedon to do that, to be disrespectful to Zack Snyder, to the work environment that he created, to the people who worked on that film with him and now this film with Josh Whedon, it's just bad. It really is. Where is the professionalism from Josh Whedon? You know, he's made some big things in his career, been involved with some big productions, and he goes and does this shit. And seemingly Jeff Johns as well has yet to come out, but he's been saying shit about the Snyder Cut on other movie sets. It's not good. So Ray Fisher comes out, he speaks facts. A lot of people attack Ray Fisher over it. Why? Because they don't want it to be true. But I bet more stuff will come out about what happened on set of Justice League. Now look, go through movies in the history of all time, okay? Directors have been pricks on set. Stanley Kubrick, whoever else you want to get, Michael Bay. There's stories of them being unprofessional, being pricks on set to get the film made. But the film ends up becoming this great film, or sometimes it becomes a poor film. Okay, I can understand those things. But there must have been a lot of bad shit on Justice League for these people to come out. For Josh Whedon to be labelled like this. And you have Gal Gadot's stunt woman, which Grace Randolph said that scene where flashes on her boobs, Gal Gadot did not want to do that scene. She would not do that scene. Instead of Josh Whedon rewriting or taking it out of the film altogether, he made her stunt double do it. It's not good. Junkie XL, the composer, he was on with Hans Zimmer on Batman vs Superman. He was doing the score for Justice League. Instead of him letting him do his job, no. Josh Whedon fired him, brought in Danny Elfman, and a new score was created. So look, more things are going to start to come out about Josh Whedon and what he did on set of Justice League. And we're only hearing little snippets of it right now, but I'm sure more is going to come out in the next few months and weeks. And look, there was no need for him to be like that on set with people. Especially the environment that Zack puts down for people. Not good. This is what Kevin Smith hears. And he's heard some good things about the Snyder Cut before. He's unveiled a lot of information, so I do believe him. I wouldn't say he's not the type of guy that would make this up to get clicks or scoops. No, man, he's famous enough for that. He has a big following. He just needs to do that shit. So I fully believe Kevin Smith. I fully believe Ray Fisher, and I believe more stuff will come out about all this. But guys, let me know your thoughts on these comments from Kevin Smith about Josh Whedon mocking or being unprofessional on set towards the crew that worked with Zack Snyder, bad-mouthing Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. Let me know your thoughts on that below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Come follow me on all the socials. Let's talk about this Josh Whedon scenario on the set of Justice League. And until next time, guys, Zack Snyder's Justice League is coming out in 2021. And we can burn the 2017 edition. Or just put it in a time capsule and let people find it in years to come and say, this was cinema. This was released one time.